Clarissa here. You are back in the limelight. We are going yet once again live today. There's a lot going on with the COVID crisis and a lot of different things to be talking about. Before, as you know, we were talking about domestic violence in the home when you can't get away from your abuser, and how that, is really started to amp up now that everybody's in quarantine. The next thing, obviously, that's on everybody's mind is job and finding work, right? Either you've lost your job or you've been furloughed, or you just really need to be in tune with what's going on. And I brought in the best of the best because I brought in a friend of mine by the name of Laurie Kahn. She is not only the creator, she's the president of Media Staffing Network, but she is also known as an MIW, everybody. And that means she's the most influential woman in media since every year since 2008. So when we're talking about media, we're talking about promotion, we're talking about jobs. This is the woman that you want to be knowing and getting in touch with, because she can help you not only with her media staffing company. Laurie, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but she's going to be branching out now into a whole different genre of staffing. So with not much further ado, Laurie, welcome. Love to have you here. So good to see you. And I guess the first question for you is, with companies needing to have employees work virtually, what's the best advice on how to do that successfully?
Well, thank you so much, Clarissa, for letting me join you. A lot of companies, especially in media, have not been set up to work remotely. In fact, we've had a lot of managers that would require people to come into the office. And I think we've been on a bandwagon for a couple of years trying to encourage more virtual work, more part-time flexibility, because it's also very important to the next generations of workers. So the most important thing you can do is support your team by making sure they're comfortable where they're working. Do they have a headset? What you don't want to do is have them having to sit with their neck on the phone like that all day. You want to make sure they have a comfortable chair, they have access to the programs, their materials, they know how to use it. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of people start doing Zoom or house party or all these things that they're not used to. And so you want to be set up correctly so you don't have an open window behind you, for example, because you'd be shadowed. You're a great one to talk about that. You should do a whole session on that. Again, there's a lot of support you can do. Most importantly, you've got to have really strong communication. And if you don't have some of these tools and platforms in place, there's a lot of free tools. And I would absolutely get some protocols set up and be using those so you can kind of keep everybody in the loop.
Right. And house party and a new kid on the block. I'm getting a return. I don't know if you have something there that you can turn down, or if it's just kind of the way the internet is now that everybody is jam packing the internet, and broadband is just having a hard time keeping up. House party, I spoke about it last week on my Ultimate Media Mastery live. New kid on the block. Check it out if you're having difficulties with any of the other platforms. Obviously, there's still grandfather Skype is still around. There are other ones that are out there too. Free conference calls, free conference video. There's all kinds of stuff out there that we can be using to be in touch. And funnily enough, just as a quick sidebar, I was reading an article this morning, Laurie, that says the phone call is back.
Amazing. You are funny to say that, Clarissa. I have so many people in my world, in my business, that I'm continually trying to reach, never, ever get a response. I've been calling people just to say, hey, how are you? How's your team? We're thinking about you. I am getting CEOs calling me back on the phone, which is amazing.
It's kind of like a cool thing to do all of a sudden.
I know it is. That and snail mail. How excited are you when you get a letter in the mailbox?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another really great tip too. I was speaking to someone this morning who was a very successful entrepreneur. And I said, how are you navigating these times? What's happening with your company? He's a global brand, so very, very successful. And he said, we're keeping in touch with our people. We're making sure that, the boots on the ground know that we're here. We're not going anywhere. We're just keeping in touch and keeping that communication going, to your point. So great advice there. So if an employer needs now during this time of crisis to hire, what steps should they be taking?
Well, first of all, know that the unemployment stats that are out there are highly, highly inflated. We have no idea what the unemployment rate is. And prior to COVID-19, I mean, obviously we were in a hiring shortage. There weren't good quality talent. I think the most important thing to remember through this, we have a lot of boomers on staffs that are going to be retiring. I've seen figures that 10,000 a day are retiring. So their companies are going to need to rehire people. And on top of that, you're dealing with the millennials and the Gen Zs who have a totally different work environment. They want different things. So I think one of the most important things you can do if you're hiring is, first of all, start getting set up to work remotely and offer flexibility. I think this has been a wonderful time for companies to realize they don't have to have people in the office. So making sure your community knows about you as an employer and so forth. It's really important to be selling your opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be a game changer. I think it's going to be very difficult to see this, kind of going back. And it might be difficult moving forward for the four walls. I mean, real estate might take a little bit more of a hit now because employers are understanding this was kind of a really cool way to go, and everything flowed and it was great and everybody loved it. So we're not going to go back. If you've lost your job, during COVID, what is it that you can be doing right now? Okay. What should you be doing right now?
You know what? This is one of these times where you always are saying, oh, if I only had time to do such and such, this is the time to do it. First of all, if you're in an industry that you think will bounce back quickly, start doing homework on those companies and who's going to hire. I would be looking at their websites, checking their job descriptions. I think really reading good job descriptions is important because you'll see what skills. So you might have to take some online courses. I mean, maybe you're weak in one area or another, but this is a great time to take classes. Yeah, and learn.
It's a fabulous time to take classes.
And let people know. Let people know. Yeah.
Yeah, or to slap a new, coat of paint on the walls. But hey.
Oh, right. You're never too old to learn a new trick. So.
Absolutely. So if a company does have to lay off employees, Laurie, are there any tips to make it a little less painful?
Yes, be as kind as possible, because remember the old saying, what goes around comes around. I think we're going to see the kinder you can be to people. First of all, companies are going to be inundated with resumes and stuff, but when you're letting somebody go, you might want to invest in some sort of outplacement package for them, get them help with a resume, teach them how to look for a job. Again, nobody really knows what to expect, what's coming up. And I think help them get prepared to get off unemployment as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I know that you were teed up to be going to a lot of different events. You're going to be speaking a lot of different events as you normally do. You're always traveling, going back and forth to different keynotes or panels and the different things that where you speak. Have you seen a lot of those move online now?
Oh, everything we do is online. In fact, it was kind of funny. You probably got the same invitation to a women's conference here in town. And I'm like, why are you still doing it? I mean, nobody is coming in person to things. So I think a lot of our stuff has gotten rescheduled for the fall. So hopefully we'll all be able to get out and do it then. But we are seeing, like, the National Association of Broadcasters had to cancel their conference in Vegas, which usually has about 100,000 people, and they're doing a whole online conference.
So is NATPE. So is NATPE.
No, not NATPE. This is NAB. Yeah, both. But NATPE, I think, was able to be held. Yeah.
But now NATPE is doing the same thing. I just want to say a really quick.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I want to say just a really quick shout out to my friends in Italy. They've been really kind of being with me all day, and I haven't really said hello. Yes, I know that everything is really hard there in Italy too, that people have lost their jobs, Valentina, and there's still no money from the government. Tenetevi duro, che devo dire? Non lo so. Cioè, know that my heart breaks for Italy and that I'm with you all always, and I love you dearly. So Stefano, ciao. And Valentina is there. We've got Travis, who said verbal communication is coming back. Yay. So that's really exciting. But I did want to take a second and say hello to them. do you want to talk about what's coming next for you? You've been president of Media Staffing Network, staffing people that are in the media business for a very long time. The sort of the behind it, not the hosts, but the behind the scenes people from, especially in the sales departments for media, whether it be radio, television, all across the United States, and not only for many years. You're now going to be branching out into something new. Would you like to touch upon that?
Thank you. Absolutely. You know what we do is very good. We're very well known for finding non-job seekers or helping companies find the right person, helping the right person get the right job. And so what we are going to be doing is expanding outside of media. So offering our services to companies that are non-media companies, because we've been so successful at it for the last 27 years. So.
Right. So that's really exciting. So good news. So this is a time for you, when you were saying before, difficult times, things have, they've been scaled back, but what better time than to move forward with, I think it's very important to be looking at what's coming, because this isn't going to last forever. This is a time when, everybody's in the same boat, and you can be taking a look at what's next. Where are you going? How to scale up? How are you going to be scaling your business or shifting your business, right?
Absolutely.
As we all come back to reality as we knew it, it might not look the way we knew it. It might look a little bit different. I'm just following along what people are saying. And so great time to be doing that. Fabulous. I'm finding personally just really great energy, and I'm terribly sorry for what's happening to people all over the world, but it's given me such a sense of wanting to do more and wanting to do better, quite frankly.
Well, yes.
How about you?
Well, absolutely. And I mean, of course, our business has dried up quite, so one of the first things we did was jumped on and started offering free webinars for job seekers, how to build themselves into a brand, how to do a remote interview. We're doing, somebody said to me the other day, I thought your business was like really quiet. And I said, it is, but I'm working harder than I have in months because I'm trying to recreate materials. And as you said, recreate myself. This is the third recession I've gone through. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to say, nothing scares us at this point. If we haven't been through it all by the time you're our age, right, Laurie? I don't know what else, but yeah, we've had some difficult times. We certainly have. I've never seen more, and that I have to say, I'm very blessed. But outside of that, we've seen a few things come and go for sure. I do want to let everybody know. First off, I wanted to put up the banner, which I should have done, but we got into yapping so much. There it is, mediastaffingnetwork.com, everybody. If you want to go take a look at that, find Laurie, you can contact her there. Also on Facebook, it is Media Staffing Network. On Twitter, it is @Media Staffing. On LinkedIn, it is linkedin.com/company/Media Staffing Network. And on Instagram, it's Media Staffing Network 1993, the year you started.
Yes.
So that's how we can find her. Any parting thoughts? Any parting advice?
I think everybody was just in a frenzy the first couple of weeks, and I think now things are calming down. And I do think you're absolutely right. It's going to bounce back. I think once the country opens up again, we're going to see a big shift. Yeah. But this is a really good time to reflect and see what you want to change about your life. Maybe it's a blessing we all have this time. I don't know.
I think it's one of the largest blessings that I've ever seen come my way. And I think many people would say the same, especially the people that are saying they're spending so much more time with their children. And I think that's really one of the greatest gifts of all. Other people are, fixing up their homes and, doing all the projects that they normally wouldn't do. They're pulling out puzzles again. Laurie, when was the last time we saw that?
Years.
I mean, or reading, the books that have been piling up. So all the lovely things that are coming of this are certainly appreciated. We definitely, I can't finish without obviously, thanking all the first responders and everybody that's out there,
Absolutely.
In the trenches, because we are not in the trenches and they are. And so we do want to, acknowledge them 1,000%. And when this is all over, I'm going to say a beer on me. I don't drink beer, but whatever it is, I don't drink coffee.
You can have wine.
I don't care.
Nice Italian wine.
A nice Italian wine. That sounds good to me. Laurie Kahn, thank you so much for being being on. What your tips and your advice is absolutely timely and perfect for the times that we're passing through. Again, if you need to come back on, there's anything else that you want to share with my friends, the solopreneurs and entrepreneurs that we speak to, I'd be happy to have you back on.
Thank you. I'm welcome to do it anytime. Anytime anybody needs anything, we're here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, Laurie, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.